Good morning, everybody. You know, this morning I set a timer that I'd be going at 11, and everybody tells me they got their notifications on, but apparently you don't. We got a lot to cover this morning, folks. So, I'm going to begin with Diddy. P. Diddy. Diddy. Diddy is trying to get bail again. And folks, I don't think he's going to get it. And the reason why is because his lawyers messed up by saying that their client was a violent person. But we will see, we will know. They just filed the papers today, okay, using examples of other people that, nice Samantha, thank you for coming. You know, I had this one, Samantha, I scheduled this to go live, and apparently people didn't get the notification. I don't know, other creators have told me that people don't get the notification of when they're going live. So I don't have the answers for that there. I don't know. I just do the best that I can. But you know, I'm talking about Diddy, and Diddy's lawyer really messed up by saying that their client was a violent individual. Now, Faithful One, thank you for coming. Now, folks, please subscribe, hit that like button, please. All those things help me, all right? Samantha, you got a notification. That's good. Okay, how about you, Faithful? Did you get one? Let me know. Anyways, the latest filing in the courts today is, hey, Island, Southern California, that's where I'm at. I'm here in Beverly Hills. Faithful, you got a notification. That's good. So some people are getting them. And let's get this room rocking, huh? Okay. All right. I'm going to be talking about Diddy. I'm going to be talking about Epstein. And I'm going to tell you about somebody in my book who was an action movie star. But I didn't put his name in the book. But now I'm going to divulge who it was. Okay? Nancy Flowers, thank you. And folks, just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Okay, don't be shy. You want to hit that thanks button? I'm very grateful for it because, you know, I print out, I do a lot of research, put a lot of time in here, and it does cost me a few bucks to put these things together, and I'm only one man show here, okay? No, Samantha, I don't think that he will get bail, all right? And, you know, I was denied bail 4 times because they said I was a violent person. So if I got denied bail 4 times, I think Diddy could get denied 4 times. But you never know what happens with people with money, okay? People with money just do, the laws don't apply to them. They apply to you, they apply to me, but not to people with money. Well, what kind of justice system do we have? Now, Diddy is, you know, his lawyer is using other cases where people got bail because, you know, they had the same charges that Diddy was found guilty of, okay? But they got bail because they weren't violent people. And I have to disagree. Giving any of these people bail is ridiculous. But anyways, that's the law. Let's get to Epstein. Now people are starting to believe what I believe, that he didn't do what they say he did. There's certain words I could use. All right? He's unalive because somebody did it. That's why. Okay? And I keep going back to Bill Barr. And people don't do a thing. Nothing will happen to Bill Barr. Do you know how unlikely it is for the head of the Department of Justice to go to a prison to visit somebody? This guy is the head guy. He's the top. He's got the FBI, the DEA. He's got every alphabet soup there. Every one of them. And he goes himself, that's not right. And that's the same thing with Epstein. This guy, Todd Blanche is his name. He's Trump's personal lawyer. And he got appointed, I think he's the fourth top guy in the Department of Justice. And he goes and visits Ghislaine Maxwell. But you're right. Thank you, Robert Prestanda. Thank you for agreeing with me. All right, a lot of people now talking about it, okay? Okay, there's certain things, all right? And when they did the autopsy, that don't happen when somebody supposedly does this to themselves, okay? And those cells in those prisons are built so people can't do that there, okay? You want to come to the USA? What country are you in, my friend? I can't read that. So, but you know, I'm going to read you Senator Dick Durbin, who is leading senator for the Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives. He is right. He has written to Pam Bondi, the FBI, and everybody else to try to get the papers. All right? Durbin and White House expressed concern about the potential for a corrupt bargain between the Trump administration and Maxwell, and urged the Justice Department to be transparent with victims and survivors and not to offer Maxwell a pardon or commutation of sentence. Now, folks, I told you all about the docuseries on Netflix, Filthy Rich, okay? It's an excellent series about Jeffrey Epstein, and then they got another one about Ghislaine Maxwell. These people were no good. We're not talking one or two girls. You're talking thousands of girls. And the things that they did to them. And you could watch, you see the victims, they use their own name. They're not hiding their name, okay? They're on that show. You'll see them yourself, okay? You'll see the guy who put all these surveillance things in Epstein's homes and all the other homes. Every room on the island had them. Now look at it, I'm quite positive Donald Trump was not to that island, okay? And Donald Trump did cut off all ties with Jeffrey Epstein over his misdoings at Mar-a-Lago. And Trump warned him once. And Epstein didn't take the warning and continued doing it. And Trump parted ways with him and barred him from ever coming back to Mar-a-Lago. You know, when I got to Lompoc, I think I got transferred from MDC, there were a lot to a place for all of those people to try to train them not to be. That didn't work out. One thing I could tell you for certain, those people that were in jail for their acts on minors, they all had money. Why is it that money people are into such a sick thing with children? I cannot conceive it. I mean, it's beyond my thinking. I don't watch it. You know what I'm saying there, Island? Thank you. Folks, is there a way you can share the room? All right, let people know that we got a room going, I call it a room, that we're live here. All right, try to get some other people. We got like 7. Julie Fitzpatrick just joined us. Says hello to everybody. Okay. But let's get back to Durbin. All right. The letters add to the pressure on the administration to release the Epstein files and provide greater transparency. Durbin is demanding answers by August 1st. Will he get any answers? I doubt it. You got to remember, all right, the Democratic is the minority in the Senate, in the Senate, so I doubt they'll even answer him, okay? And of course, the FBI not responding. Nobody's responding to him, all right? But, you know, he's very upset about the fact that Trump had Blanche go visit Ghislaine Maxwell when you could have just sent a local FBI agent to go there and do the job that was supposed to have. Agent Orange, thank you for coming in. Durbin and White House expressed concern about the potential for a corrupt bargain between the Trump administration and Maxwell and urged the Department of Justice to provide that information. Be transparent with the victim survivors. Flaggy mentions of Trump. Durbin claims his office received information that FBI personnel were instructed to flag any documents mentioning President Trump during a review of Epstein-related records in March. He requested an explanation for this directive and information about what happened to the flagged records. You know who they're not questioning, folks? They want to go after Trump, okay? And I believe Trump had nothing to do with any of these young girls. Yeah, he's a womanizer. We all know that, okay? Aren't we all? But he's not into young girls. Why aren't they going after Acosta? Yeah, remember Acosta? He was the head of the U.S. Attorney's Office in Southern Florida when they were investigating Epstein in the early 2000s. He's the one who stopped the investigation. And guess who was urging that? Alan Dershowitz. Why is nobody talking about Alan Dershowitz here? Alan Dershowitz admits he went to the island. He's proclaiming that Ghislaine Maxwell's a real lady and a wonderful person. Yeah, he had his daughter. Yeah, she took his daughter on the beach and built sandcastle. What? Where are you, Alan Dershowitz? Don't you watch other YouTube stations or you just listen to yourself talk? Why is he defending her? Why? Bill Barr's father is the one who gave Epstein his start in life. He's the one who introduced him to the billionaire in Pennsylvania, Ohio rather, Wexler, okay? It was Bill Barr's father. So they had a close relationship. And he's the one who goes to MDC 2 days before Epstein supposedly did that. Epstein didn't do that. Bill Barr went there to set it up. You know that the BOP is under the Department of Justice. So Bill Barr's got free reign to go in and go out of any prison he wants to. But we don't hear nothing about him. Acosta, Barr, Dershowitz, all lawyers, all with the government at one time or another, and nothing's happening to them. They want to point to Trump. All right, folks. All right, folks. All right. Oh, you there? Well, let's continue this, folks. Folks, are you subscribed to my station? Please subscribe, all right, like, and share. Let's get some people here, okay? You want me to read you what Diddy? Nah, I'm not going to read you what Diddy's lawyers wrote to the judge. I told you about all that there. All right, you want to hear some gangster stuff. I'm going to tell you one organization you never mess with. And I tried it, and it didn't work, okay? I was taping the FBI here in Los Angeles. I had 12 tape recordings. That's what really got me indicted, okay? Because those FBI agents stick together like glue. But anyways, in my book, I can't remember the name I gave the guy, but in my book I changed his name. The actor that I'm talking about is Steven Seagal. And how I got International Creative Management to release $2 million to him, and how he didn't give me a nickel. Okay? I've been to Steven's house a couple of times when he used to live with, I think the street was Morning Star out in West Los Angeles. He wasn't a tough guy in real life. All right, let me put it that way, okay? Thank you, Chrissy. Hit a like. Give me those likes, folks. Okay, subscribe, like, share the room. And there's a thanks button down there, okay? Don't be shy to hit that thanks button, all right? And, as I told you, I'm going to be talking more about the gangster life because a lot of you are interested in it. Julie is asking, where's the like button? It's right there on my screen. It's on the left. I'm going to imagine it's there for everybody. And folks, I mentioned Filthy Rich to you, okay? It was written by James Patterson, John Connolly, and Tim Malloy. But the guy who really actually wrote the book was John Connolly. And John Connolly was a very dear friend of mine. And John Connolly wrote a blurb on the back of my book, which I'm going to read to you now. Orlando Ori Spado has been a thorn in the side of the Los Angeles field office of the FBI for almost 2 decades before they finally took him down. Accidentally or not, Ori was a quintessential mob character, complete with a pinky ring and a slow, steady, deliberate voice, whether speaking with friends or foes. But like so many other good fellas, he was set up by a friend's son. You will have to read the book to find out who set him up. Enjoy. John Connolly, author, New York Times, best-selling true crime book, Filthy Rich. So when I tell you I know somebody, I know them, okay? One thing about me, I don't come on here and tell you lies and crap and that sort of stuff, okay? Looks like we're going to be talking about Epstein and Diddy for a long time. All right, they're soaking up the news. Except Fox News is no longer talking about it, okay? They want to stick with the immigration stuff. The one thing that we know Donald Trump has accomplished, the one thing that he succeeded in doing that he promised. But he hasn't stopped any of the wars. In fact, we're more into them than we were before. So I don't think there's a great love for him and Putin. There's another famous person that's in my book and also been mentioned in the Epstein case. That's Naomi Campbell. Wyclef Jean, music producer, singer from the Fugees, he came to me many years ago and asked me if I would help his friend Naomi Campbell because she was being stalked. I ended up finding this stalker. He lived in Long Island, New York. I sent 2 guys there with instructions once they were in the house. Sit him down, put him on the phone with me, and I would talk with him. And I told him that if I ever even thought that he tried to email, text, call, or even thought of Naomi Campbell, I said, those 2 guys standing in front of you are very nice guys. But if you ever think of Naomi Campbell again, the next time you see those 2 guys will be the last time you will see anybody's faces again. He got the message. He never bothered her again. And what happened to Naomi, I haven't seen her since then. But it's all in my book if you want to read about it. Plus many other things in here. People that I knew in my lifetime. You know, I got pictures of them. There's Jerry Zimmerman. You hear me talk about him a lot. Okay. Joey Pyle in London. I miss Joey. My dear friend, Jimmy Conchi, the underboss of Los Angeles. I can go on and on, folks. On and on. For you, all of you who have bought my book, I appreciate it. And, and I appreciate each and every one who come here. Thank you, Jeff. How you doing? Keisha, Chrissy, Moonchild. Well, folks, I guess it must be a slow day, okay? I'm doing my best. I'm trying, okay? But keep those notifications on, and I'm going to be trying to do this once every day for a few minutes anyway. I'm going to be talking more about the mob life. As I promised you, you're going to be hearing stories that I never told anybody. Until then, all my love and respect to all of you. Thank you. God bless.